am the Familia. It is your host for the evening, Aaron Robinson. Today, our topic title is Boy Wonder. The topic title is Boy Wonder. All right. I have my panel in the building. Today is May 20th. We're streaming
Oh,
live on um, multiple platforms, video, and we have audio. And I got my panel in the building. I got callers in the building as well. Video panel, audio panel. So we are in here doing our thing. So if you want to join us on this live call, you can join us at 908-316-8630. And if you want to join by link, it's meetings.dialpad.com/. C1 Productions. All right. My voice might be going in and out a little bit because I'm still trying to recover from coughing and stuff. So y'all should hear me in church. They be everybody turns and looks back when I be hacking in church and stuff like that. And my wife always have to come home and say, I knew that was you back there. But in any case, today our topic title is Boy Wonder. How's everybody doing today?
doing good.
Great.
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
Good. For my new caller, Sister Jones, Sister
How
Plummer,
are you?
how's everybody doing? So our topic
Great.
title today is Boy Wonder. All right, I'm gonna open this up with an opening question real quick. Um, have anybody ever heard, and I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but have anybody ever heard of the Ephrathites? Ephrathites. Ephrathites. Who are they? Are they important? The
The who?
Ephrathites.
The who types?
The Ephrathites. The Ephrathites. Look at everybody
That
going in.
doesn't
I
sound
can see
familiar.
people. I can see people looking it up on their computers now. On their search engine. Ephrathites.
Yeah.
No, they're not in the Bible,
No.
are
Ephrathites. They are in the Bible.
they? They are.
Ephrathites. Yes.
Then how do you spell it? Maybe I'm not getting it because of the spelling.
All right. It's Ephrathites. The Ephrathites. I'm going to tell you who they are.
Ephraim?
Ephrathites were descendants of Ephrat,
Ephraim.
who lived in or around the city of Bethlehem, which was also called Ephrat. Ephrat was the second wife of Caleb, son of Herzon, son of Perez, son of Judah. So Ephraim, do y'all know who Caleb is? Caleb, I don't know how y'all say Caleb. Does anybody know who Caleb is? Just some small little history
Caleb.
before I get to mine.
Caleb,
Caleb.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, call it Caleb.
Mhm.
So Caleb, um,
He wasn't he with Joshua?
yes, Caleb is one of the spies from Numbers 13.
Right. Mhm.
Caleb represented the tribe of Judah, who were sent to catch a glimpse of the promised land in Numbers 13. Those who remember the
Mhm.
story will know that Caleb and Joshua were the only two scouts who kept their confidence and faith in God's promise after giants and fortified city um, states of Canaan. So Caleb, however y'all want to pronounce it, his name actually means dog, which is used to describe a non-Israelite or a Gentile throughout Scripture. And
Oh.
the interesting thing here is in the city of Ephrath, they held that name long before the conquest of Joshua. So it is mentioned in Genesis chapter 35 that Rachel, the wife of Jacob, was buried on the road to Ephrath. So it was called Ephrath long before it was called Bethlehem. Why am I saying this? Because the character of my story today is a Ephrathite. The character of my story today is an Ephrathite. my my video callers are looking like they're reading up on it, not really paying me no attention.
I'm not reading. I'm listening. Promise.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to jump into my conversation. So I want everybody to meet Mike and Ethan. Excuse me, meet Mike and Ethan. Mike the elder is a firefighter known for his bravery and strength. He had faced many fires and emergencies, earning the respect and admiration of his colleagues and the community. Ethan, his younger brother, was a high school student, small in stature, but with a heart full of courage. Despite his size, Ethan was always eager to help others and dreamed of being a hero like his brother Mike. In Metroville, that's the name of their city, there's a local gang called the Vipers. The Vipers was involved in various criminal activities and they terrorized the neighborhood, instilling fear in the hearts of the residents. The police and community members hesitated to confront them directly. One day, Mike was at the fire station. A call came in about a massive fire in an old warehouse. It was suspected that the fire was started deliberately by the Vipers to cover up their illegal activities. Mike and his team rushed to the scene, where they found the warehouse engulfed in flames. The fire was spreading rapidly, threatening to consume the nearby buildings and neighborhood. Ethan, who had been passing by on his way home from school, saw the thick of plumes of smoke and the crowd gathering of onlookers. His heart sank when he realized his brother and the firefighters were battling in this blaze. He hurried to the scene and found Mike coordinating the efforts to control this fire and to rescue any trapped individuals. As Ethan watched overhead, he heard the police officers discussing the situation. They were reluctant to confront the Vipers, fearing the repercussions. Ethan knew that if someone didn't take a stand, the gang would continue to terrorize the city unchallenged. Without hesitation, Ethan approached Mike. Mike, we can't let the Vipers get away with this. We need to confront them and stop them from causing more harm. But Ethan, Mike looked at his younger brother, with a mixture of pride and concern. Ethan, it's dangerous. The Vipers are ruthless. This isn't something you can handle on your own. But Ethan, undeterred, replied, I know it's dangerous, but someone who has to stand up to them. If we don't do something, they'll keep hurting people. We can't let fear control us. Ethan left to devise a plan, which left Mike worried about his little brother because his brother could blindly put himself in danger, in a dangerous situation, and possibly get himself killed. The fire is now out. Mike heads home to talk to Ethan, but doesn't know what to say to Ethan, being that Ethan is all roused up over the Vipers. And so he wants to get some advice. You are Mike's friend and are aware of everything. What advice would you give Mike about how he should handle his brother and why? Somebody talk to me. The floor is yours.
Well, I understand that he's upset and you shouldn't let fear consume you. However, you have to use wisdom. And if the police you said the police are hesitant, right?
Yes.
Or just, okay. If the police are hesitant, then there's a reason for that. And the police have more protections than the average everyday person. I mean, if anything, he might be able to send things to the police and maybe do an email campaign or a Facebook, Instagram campaign to get other people to get on board to push and urge the police force and other, prominent figures who can make a difference. But I mean, that's still kind of dangerous itself.
Right. Because if they find out as you guys behind it, they can come after you guys.
Yeah.
Eddie, what about you, Eddie? How would you handle this? What would you say to Mike? If this was your little brother after dealing with the fire coming home, what would you say to you, little bro?
Well, to just take care of himself, or as much as he's you said he's brave and everything, but he should take care of himself. Be wise in his braveness.
Be wise in his braveness. He wants to actually do something. He wants to get the Vipers back. So he wants you to help him get the Vipers back. So you're telling him what? To be brave and wise? Like,
Being wise is letting the police do their job.
so you would just tell him let the police do their job?
Yeah.
So you would tell him to stay out of it?
Yes.
Gotcha. What about you, Cuzzo?
I think I know what story this is from, but I actually, real life, I guess, I would tell, yeah. Yeah, don't go after Goliath. Going home. Going back to the house and be safe.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about you, Amber?
I would probably say you have to pray about it first. Ultimately, God's the one who avenges everything. And so I would say to do that first, be praying about the situation, praying that, that the right people would get involved. And then if he feels that God's calling him to move in an action, then he should do it.
You don't think God would be talking to you first about it? This your little bro.
I mean, I'd have to pray about it too, but
I'm saying you would tell him to pray about it first, or would you like take action? He wants to do something. He wants you to help. He wants you to do something too.
yeah, I don't do anything right on the spot.
Okay. So you
That's
would
the
tell him to
wisdom.
pray about it.
Yeah,
And you would pray about it as well.
correct.
All right. What if something else happens after that? Like, let's say the Viper gang causes more havoc in the city. God hasn't answered your prayer yet. What are you telling little bro?
I would
not
say
to
that he
move until-
definitely shouldn't do anything by himself. Like,
Are you
should
helping him?
depends on what it is. But yeah, I would help him if it made sense. I'm not just gonna go in guns blazing.
Okay, Sister Nance, talk to me, Sister Nance.
Well, I would I agree there should be prayer, that both of the guys should pray together. But I would also say to the little brother, well, tell me what your plan is.
He wants you to help him come up with it.
Yeah, but what's that? I mean, what is the plan for attacking these people? What is the plan for? I mean, you can't just be wild about things.
All right, so are you gonna come up? This your little bro. Are you gonna come up and he looking you his hero? He looking for you to you know what I mean? To step
What's he
to the
looking
plate.
for me to do?
Do something. The Vipers is over there causing havoc for the, you know what I mean, for the
And
community.
that's not good enough. Just do something. There needs to be a plan in place.
So are you coming up with the plan? That's what we are. Are you
Oh
taking
no,
some?
let little bro come up with the plan.
So you're not helping him out to take action at all? You letting little bro handle it on his own?
It all depends on what the action is.
You don't want him to approve it by you or anything? You don't care? Like you just like, yo, whatever you do is you on your own?
No. That's why I'm saying he needs to come up with a plan. I definitely want him to run it by me.
Okay, and what if you don't agree with the plan at all?
But I don't want him to just go wildly into a situation that he may not be able to get out of.
Okay, Fritz. What about you, Fritz? You sitting there with a face like you are trying to process this all. What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah. I do have a brother, right? But he's not younger than me. He's older than me. But I'm just kind of fitting the situation in in our context.
Mhm.
But as far as wisdom is concerned, yes, I'm going to support him as long as uh it makes sense, and it's not gonna put anyone else in jeopardy or in danger, at least even in the
What if it
proximity of
puts him in
danger.
jeopardy?
So for example, you can, like what I said, that the police do their job, but you can help them by, like spreading awareness to the community and helping people to be on the lookout for these people. So,
Okay,
of course, if you
and
have,
that will put him in direct
yeah, go
danger
ahead.
though, because once they find out that he's the one that's putting out the awareness, they're gonna come after him.
Right. That's why you have to really come up with a plan that it will leave you anonymous or something like that, or like
Fritz, let me ask you
a
this question,
rogue or
Fritz.
something.
Let
Sure.
me ask you this question. What if he don't want it to be anonymous? Anonymous. What if he want to stand out? He wanna be the one. Like, yeah, I did it. I'm the one. I want to be a hero just like my big brother. I'm going to take action as
Right.
well.
For
What
sure.
if that's his attitude?
Well, the firefighter has a different risk than what he wants to undertake, right? So the danger is the fire.
This is
It's
true.
not gonna take revenge on anyone else. So when you took out the fire, it's gone. But when you're dealing with these gangsters or people who really um has hollowed souls maybe, or something like that. So I'm gonna make him think about the people around him, the people he care about. Is it worth it to like risk it?
So
Or
you trying to talk him out of it?
yes,
Okay. So
yeah,
so
most likely I'm gonna
I
talk
just
him
want to
out
make
of
sure
of the
putting himself
yeah.
in
Go ahead.
danger.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
want to make sure I'm clear.
Sure.
Sister Plummer, talk to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable about a plan. I would, yeah, I think we need to pray a lot and see if God leads them into a plan that makes sense. But to put your life in danger, I don't think so.
Your little bro was on it like, yo, I can't believe that we letting them do this, terrorizing our city. You
And I'd
know.
be saying, little bro, let's just chill, okay? Let's just take it easy. Let's just stand back and let God make the decision.
So you think that it doesn't take you doing any action and getting God's favor? You just saying, hey, we just gonna let them terrorize the city and let God handle it on his own? God got to use somebody to make it happen.
Well, hopefully there'll be another person out there that is braver than me.
So I want to also understand. So you would be talking your little brother out of it as well?
Yes,
Okay, Sister Edna, are you there, Sister Edna?
That I would definitely pray about it first and be led by the Holy Spirit what to do. And it sounds like a dangerous situation. So if I
Your little
would,
brother can.
you know,
Let's switch it
yeah,
up a little bit. Let's switch it up. Let's say
mhm.
let's take little brother out of it, and let's say this was Shannon, your daughter. She
Oh
she
my
wants to
goodness.
take action, but you know this action can put her in danger.
Well,
And these
putting
people in this
Shannon
group,
in
in this
it,
group of people are ruthless. They will come after you. But Shannon, because think about it now, these kids in college and stuff like that, they are putting themselves on the line and at risk here in the U.S. They are boldly trying, and they can get themselves put in jail for protesting. Half the stuff, I don't even think they even understand the whole scenario of what they even protesting about. They just want to pick a
exactly.
side. But so let's say your child is in that situation, and
Mhm.
they want to make a statement. They want to do something.
Mhm. Well, knowing Shannon as I know her, I would definitely say, listen, honey, think about what you're saying, what you want to do, and you have to make, as we always say, it has to make sense and be a situation that you're protected. And do you know of any other way to help these people besides putting yourself in harm's way, in danger with crazy people that don't care about life? So no, I would talk her out of it for sure.
So you talking her
I
out of
don't
it.
think I would have to do. Yeah, I don't think I would have to do much talking because she's not like a violent person, and of course she would think, "Oh,
At some
listen,
point in time in
we
life,
got to do something."
sometimes you get pushed to that point where you gotta. Sometimes you get pushed to the point where you would try to do your best to restrain from being violent. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you do got to knock somebody upside their head to get the point across.
So here's the thing, Aaron.
Well,
Like, I was actually thinking about this when you were talking about it. I had already gone to if it was my child, because I actually wouldn't try to talk them out of it. I would ask them to consult the Lord first. Um,
mm-hmm.
my son is going to be joining the army, and of course, as his mother, being my only son, of course, I want to make sure that he's making a smart decision that he feels called to by the Lord.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm not going to talk him out of it. If that's what God has for him, who am I to stand in the way? And so
Mm-hmm.
I don't think talking him out of it is something that I would do. I would just ask him to seek the Lord first.
Okay,
Yes,
First Lady,
yes.
I saved this one for last for you. So go ahead. What you were gonna say?
No, I agree with it. Amber, is it
Yep.
Amber?
Yeah.
I agree with her. First and foremost, I would want to make sure that my kid or whoever the person is, that they have a strong relationship with Christ. Um, after that, then really pray and seek God as to what direction to do, to take, because you know that whatever they're doing, that they're in God's will. And you know, I look at things as it's coming a time where we're all going to have to make decisions that, for Christ, that like we haven't been put in those kind of situations yet, but I do believe that it's coming, that is coming down the line at some point. Um, hopefully it's after we're gone, but it's coming. So, and if a person wants to stand up for what is right, I don't, I would make sure that they're aware of the dangers and whatever,
In this particular
it
case,
is.
he's
But that reminds, because I'm saying, like, I don't know what story but that reminds me of a Bible story where somebody had to take, decided to take a stand. And even though it looked like they shouldn't, like, if their family was against them doing it and whatever, but I'm saying they took that stand. And sometimes God is calling somebody to take a stand, and we may not get it or understand it or whatever. But so the thing is for a person to be in God's will for their life, whatever it is.
so the person that so let's say let's say your son or your brother. Let's say
Mhm.
your brother.
Mhm.
This can cause danger. So
Yeah.
the gang is lethal. The lethal gang, they got a bad history in the city, and if they find out that your brother is involved in any way, shape, or form, they gunning for him.
They may come after us, come after the family.
They're gonna come after him first, and if they can't get to him, then they
Mhm.
might come to you.
Mhm.
So the question is, are you still saying the same thing, or are you trying to talk him out of it?
I mean, of course, I would not want him or anybody to be in danger, but I'm saying a person's going to do what they're going to do. I mean, then definitely I'm gonna be having to pray for myself, and pray for his protection and for the protection of whoever else, for ourselves, our homes, or whatever. And as bad as my flesh would want to say, oh, don't do it, whatever. Even if I say don't do it, even if that's my desire, don't do it. I would want him to choose to be in God's will for his life.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, those that's to me a great answer. I think the scenario with Amber saying her son is going to the army, that's a
Mhm.
calculated choice. Um,
Mhm.
that is kind of different than the scenario that I'm presenting in the story. That's this
But
is
this guy is making a calculated choice too, don't you think? The
yeah,
one
but
you're told in the story,
yeah, he's making a
he's
calculated.
making a choice.
He making a choice. Um, but in the army,
This is
you got to
heated.
be put into a position where you're going to fight. This is a immediate reaction. If your
Mhm.
name, you know what I mean, like
Okay.
if you get caught going against the gang, they're gonna come after you. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna
Mhm.
come after you. So this is putting you in immediate danger, um,
Mhm. Yeah.
because of your
You know,
actions.
Aaron, and listening to your story, looking at it from the standpoint that it sounded like he wanted revenge, and I don't know that
I
that's
don't.
something.
You can call it revenge if you want. I would look at it
I
and
thought
say
that's
he.
what you. I thought that's what you. The way you laid it out, that's what it sounded like to me. That he
Oh,
wanted revenge.
it's more of yo like he want to be a hero. He want to. It's not about revenge. He just like yo. This gang is
Well,
violating my city. Like I want to. Somebody got to do something.
but it's
If not,
different
then
though
me.
than saying somebody want to be a hero or somebody
Yeah,
want to stand
that's
up for what's
worse.
right. Now, I'm not. If
All right,
he
well,
just want to be a
all
hero,
right.
then
No,
I got a
so
problem with
hold
that.
on, hold on. All right, so look, so because y'all playing with my words now. So
Mhm.
let me will it
Okay.
back. Let me will it back and say, at the end of the day, something needs to be done, right? They're terrorizing
Mhm.
the city, and no one is brave enough at this particular point in time to do something to put a stop to it. And so, little bro, or your child, or Shannon, however you want to look at it, is
Mhm.
saying like, all right, enough is enough already. They done terrorized the city to a point where action needs to be made, whether it be starting a rally, whatever it is. But that person is trying to be in the forefront and create a movement to stand up for something. But in doing that, they are going to put a target on themselves and they can possibly lose their life. So we're just trying to see if you're trying to talk them out of it or not. So, First Lady, are you changing your answer, or are you saying are you still
Yeah,
staying
I
with?
mean, I feel like you could look at King. You know, like I'm sure his wife or his family didn't want him to take the stands that he did, and he had a wife
Who?
and kids and whatnot. Martin Luther King.
Oh, Martin Luther King. Got you.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, yeah, I'm saying he had to do what he had to do, what he felt was right, and it impacted. I'm saying you could say, well, he shouldn't have done that. I'm sure his family wasn't crazy about it, but he had to do what he was called to do.
And he lost his life over it.
Yeah. So, that's the chance you take. That's the risk you take. But that's why I said first and foremost, you better know that you know Jesus Christ and that you're led in fulfilling your purpose. Because if you going out there just trying to be a hero, that's foolish.
Okay. So I am going to bring this to my Bible story now because cousin was trying to mess up
Hmm.
my wave on this one. Um, so I do want to. I don't know if y'all heard what she got said because when she said it, I was like, come on, man. But then y'all still went along with what y'all was saying. So
I
I was
said it low.
oh, okay. Yeah. You snuck it in there, but um
Hmm.
I want everybody to turn to First Samuel chapter 17. All right. And this is a story that everybody knows,
Yep.
right? What messed me up about this story or as we read it is I just even when I read it back and how the whole thing played out, when I read it, I'm like, yo, this couldn't be my little bro. Like just you know what I mean? Especially if it's like your little brother, like or like your youngest child, like the youngest child who innocently is just bringing you some food. You know what I mean? Don't have nothing and just like don't know the type of danger that they put themselves into. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and then to be the oldest of y'all, and just be sitting there like, yo, that's your little bro. He about to go do this. He about to, you know what I mean? It's like that's also, to a certain degree, that's also disrespectful on your part, yo, because your little brother is willing to do more than you. So this is what kind of brought me in. And maybe y'all read this before and y'all know the story
Mhm.
and really
Yeah.
haven't really paid attention to the
Yeah.
details of it. But this was stood out to me like, wow. You know what I mean? Something that I read before, and we all know the story. But I couldn't imagine having 3 or 4 brothers in the military, and little bro was just supposed to be coming up there to drop some bread off. You know what I mean? It wasn't supposed to be on some, and he the one that's feeling some type of way about it. Like, yo, y'all letting this dude disrespect y'all? Like, how y'all not doing nothing about it? And then the whole fact that even as the king, like as King Saul, yo, you sending a little boy to go fight your battle, bro. Like you giving him armor and all this other stuff, and young boy is like, yo, I don't even need all that, yo. I just need some rocks. Like when you think about the whole story and how it played out, it's like, yo, he violated y'all too, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
David had a plan, though. David had a plan.
It don't sound like
Yeah.
it. It sound like he just was on. He wasn't scared.
Right, because he just came to bring his brother lunch.
came to bring-
And he was like, look, I can do this.
Shot and those stones were part of his plan.
But nah, he
did
was-
have a plan,
Nah, he was willing to put on the armor and
but
stuff.
one thing too, you got
and he was hearing from God. Go ahead.
But the thing though, his battle. I mean, his thing was the Philistines. He called those uncircumcised people because he knew they wasn't there. Like they were not just talking about Israel, but talking about God. I mean, he was going in the name of God.
I know, but
Yeah.
my point is
Yeah.
though, he
But
the
I'm
youngest.
thinking, so
He the youngest
he
dude
took
did
it
though.
as an insult to God.
Exactly, but I'm saying he's the only one feeling that way. And at the end of the day, even in this particular situation, like even if and if Ethan is feeling some type of way that these guys are terrorizing the city, the question it would be, why is no one else feeling the same way he feeling?
That's because
Why is
David
the
was
little one? Why is the
uniquely
youngest one is the one willing to put his life on the line to save save everyone?
It's because David was uniquely equipped to see the spiritual battle over the physical battle. He was already able to drive out spirits by playing music. He was already able to he already knew that this was a spiritual battle and not a physical battle. So it didn't matter that all he had was stones and that he was tiny.
Listen, I'm
Plus
not.
he-
Hold on. I'm not.
he-
Hold on. I'm not taking nothing away from what you just said, Amber. Honestly, I'm not. But when I look at this as a plain situation, y'all can put the spiritual aspect in it or
Right.
whatever. A man would just, his dad told him to go up there and drop some bread off to his brothers. You know what I mean? This wasn't on some, he had great insight. He just felt some type of way that they was talking, that Goliath was popping noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He said, how you disrespecting us? How they disrespecting us? Wait, y'all letting him disrespect us like this?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's how he came up.
dropping
He
off
really,
some bread. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't
but-
even on some like I'm trying to be here to be a spiritual fighter, anything of that sort.
No, but
I think-
Aaron,
Go ahead.
also David recognized as well that because what did he tell the king? He said, "Hey, when I was at home and guarding my father's sheep, taking care of the sheep, he said a bear came and he knew what God allowed him to do. Like he said, with my bare hands, I defeated the bear and I defeated the lion, protecting just sheep. So he was trusting, knowing that if God allowed him to kill a sheep and a bear and a lion over for some sheep, then what would God do what would God do for him to protect his people?
And
So
listen,
I think that
hold
what
on.
he was telling, he knew
I'm not
he
disagreeing,
trusted that God would take care of him
and I'm not disagreeing with you.
and God would defend his people.
And I'm not disagreeing with you on that one as well. I totally agree with you. But if we just go back and look at this as a practical standpoint, practically he's just a young boy who don't know what he's getting himself into.
This does not surprise me though. I had a 6-year-old daughter come to me and say, I want to go be a missionary in Africa. And she never let up. She was like, God has called me to be a missionary in Africa at 6. Like, I as her mother am like, how about we wait till we're 18? Can we revisit this? And she went last summer to Africa by herself, never been on a plane by herself, and went there like did what she had to do. She went above and beyond. She called people out when they're preaching false gospel. Like things that I did never thought that she was prepared to do, God had called her to do when she was 6 years
Mm-hmm.
old. So none of this story
Yep.
really surprises me. I think because I have children who have acted just like this.
And that's a beautiful story. I'm not taking nothing away from it. But I'm looking at this again when I look at Bible stories and I come up with topics and stuff like that, especially something like this. I'm looking at it because y'all focusing on David, and greatly so. He is the main character in this story, and people can take this and spin it many different ways and say, preach powerful sermons off of this. I'm looking at the brothers though, because your little brother who just put some bread up here to hand out to you and a couple of people up there, you know what I'm saying? And then your little brother is looking, and the fact that he's even in the spotlight to the point where he's getting all this extra attention. Like I would have been on some little bro, like go play your part. You know what I'm saying? Because it could
But
even have been
then they
embarrassing to
did
a
want
certain
him to
degree.
leave. That wasn't they fussing with him. They did want
That's
him
what I'm
to leave.
saying. Like
And
the
said, "What
fact,
are you doing? Go. They didn't want him there."
you know what I mean? Then the king, you got to go sit down with the king. So now I'm worried about you even from that standpoint. Like this could be drama to our family. You know what I mean? Like this is not taking. You can't take this lightly. You know what I mean? Like this is not. Oh, he just playing around. This is, we shook. We don't want no smoke with that dude. So why I'm gonna let my little brother, who don't? I mean, all right, cool. He killed the bear and he killed the lion. That's different from war.
But he was only. It was the war. It was between Goliath and him.
I know that was the call out.
The challenge was between the two of them.
As your big bro though, you can't just let your little bro go fight your battle for you.
Well, it's not really like Goliath was like the 50-foot man or something like that. I mean,
I hear what you're saying, but little bro, and he going out there. He don't want no sword, no shield, no nothing. He want to fight with just some rocks. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from the story. You know what I mean? And we can paint the spiritualism of it all and everything else. I get that. But if we want the human side of this story, right? And you just look at it and it's like your little bro came up here to bring some lunch to y'all, and all of a sudden he about to go fight. He don't know how to fight. He never been trained in battle or anything of that sort. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, but he's fought bears and lions and things like that
so
with that
trained in battle.
slingshot. So he has had a background in doing something.
So y'all take again. That's different than.
That's not spiritual, Aaron. The fight for him to fight the bear, that was a physical battle. I mean, he fought a bear and killed it, and he fought a lion and killed it. Let a lion get after you.
And if I got a gun, I don't need to be spiritual to kill a gun.
Yeah,
I mean, shoot him with a gun.
But you don't have a gun.
I mean, but in those days, throwing a rock is just as similar. And I'm not discrediting. So I don't want y'all to come at me like I'm discrediting David, because I'm not. I'm not discrediting David. I'm not discrediting what he represents. I'm not discrediting anything of it. Of it all.
Like Amber, but that's like Amber saying, like her daughter knew she had the call on her life to go to wherever she went to do that, to be a missionary. I'm saying David knew he had the call. I mean, he was already anointed, so I'm saying he knew he had the call, and so he trusted God. And I'm saying that's just as in the natural as her daughter knowing or having that desire to fulfill her purpose and to being a missionary or traveling, for God's purpose. And David wanted all of us should be where whatever our purpose is, to walk in it.
Aaron, is your issue more
the
Hold on.
brothers.
I don't have an issue at all. I'm just
No, no, I'm saying, but is your question is what you're trying to get us to see more the reaction of the brothers
well.
versus what David was willing to do. The fact that the others were willing to let him do
I'm actually because it's easy to answer the question because you know how this whole thing plays out. I'm asking y'all from the standpoint of you was there, right? And your little brother came up there with some bread. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're not aware that he killed the bear. It's not like you're not aware he killed lion and he protects the sheep. I'm pretty sure all of y'all at one point in time was doing the same thing before y'all got old
Maybe,
enough.
well,
Before y'all got old
maybe
enough.
I'm big so
Hold
Aaron
on.
because
I'm
David
not.
was
I'm
out
not.
there.
I'm not. Again, yeah, because I feel like y'all
Go ahead.
taking away from my point. My point is not to discredit David at all. I'm not discrediting David. David had the anointing on him. I get all of that, but I'm also just asking from a practical
Mm-hmm.
point. Like for Eddie, if you had a little brother, Eddie, and your little brother came up to your school where you know what I mean, and you know of a gang or whatever, and he like, yo, y'all letting him disrespect our neighborhood? Like, are you gonna be like, little bro, chill out, or are you gonna let him, you know what I mean?
Definitely chill out.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy to say because we know the answer to we know how this whole thing plays out. So
Exactly.
it's easy to be on it like, oh, well, God's gonna save us, and then because we know how it play out. I'm actually putting it at practical because I don't, to be honest with you, I'm saved now. I like not that I would ever deny God or anything of that sort, but if my some little brother or whoever it was, my little cousin or a little like just, you know what I mean, is coming, they got this over eagerness to put themselves in a dangerous situation. I don't know if I'm letting them do it. And
Aaron, but remember that their brothers, like we said, the brothers was against that. And was if someone else overheard him talking with his brothers and went and told the king, and the king called for him, sent for him to come to him.
I
The
would have went to the
brothers couldn't
king
do
and like,
anything
king,
about
no, you
that.
can't send my little brother. He's not even
They,
in the military.
but the king, right? But the brothers can't tell the king who he can talk to.
I would be disrespect. I would be upset with the king. Like, why you even want to send my little
You
brother?
may,
Like, you
you
wilding right
may
now.
well be. You might well be, but I'm saying that's just like how our the governments and whatnot tell people where to go and what they can do. You can be upset all you want, but that's they calling the shots. And so the king is calling the shots. So he sent for David. He heard that there was somebody saying that they're willing to fight Goliath, and so he called for him. So the
I hear
brothers
what you're
wasn't
saying.
nothing the brothers could do. Wasn't nothing they could do about it. But they did want David to go home. They did. They was fussing with him, and that's how people overheard and went and told the king.
Fritz, what's your take on this, Fritz? You've been kind of quiet.
I get your points. Of course, if I am one of the brothers of David, of course I know how war works. I know how a battle works. It's with armor and sword and shield or spears, whatever the case may be. And them being surrounded by Philistines for I don't know how long it is that they're taking siege and surrounding. Of course, there's not much really happening, but there's you have to put yourself into how does it feel like when your city is surrounded by people who can potentially conquer you and slaughter you. So and then here comes your brother, your little brother, or for me I have a little sister. Here comes my little sister who's
Your
about
little
15
sister.
years old and then tells me, hey brother, here's your food. And then I told her about there's this 10-foot guy, the Philippines, their champion, and he's looking for a challenge, and then he's mocking us and all these things. And then all of a sudden my sister would, really, how dare he? you know so
Yeah, and then wants to go fight.
just thinking, yeah, just thinking about it, it's kind of ridiculous to think that what my sister would do that, even though if she has a history of beating guys for in school, or beating, you know it's if, I'm thinking what Aaron is thinking, like on the practical side. If I was there, if I'm one of the brothers, and I know how to fight, like as a soldier, I know how to fight, and I'm trained to fight, and I'm ready to fight, but I'm scared, you know. And then all of a sudden, here comes the little guy who has no experience at all in fighting, who has killed no man before, right? So, and killing not just an average man, but a 10-foot guy who's killed thousands of people before. So, yeah, I'm wondering. It's a bit ridiculous for me, for my sister, for my little brother to
Yeah,
think
it's
about that.
true. Yes.
So
I don't dispute. I agree that I agree with it, and with the brothers, like, come on. I agree with all of that. What I'm saying is that if the brother is saying, he's saying that he's trusting God or his own faith and whatever, and if the king hadn't have called for him, probably nothing would have happened. But the king calls for him. He goes, the brothers can't stop that. And if he's telling the king, I can defeat this uncircumcised Philistine, and I'm just, God was with him, and he went on and did what he had to do. But God was all in that. And
Respect.
I'm saying that
Out of
if
respect,
this happens in today, you better hope God is with you.
I get you, but so Fritz, I'm gonna ask if the king wants to meet your little sister to go fight. Like, are you still wanting to fight for this king yourself? Like, honestly, yo, 'cause to me, I just
sister,
feel like that's
little
disrespectful.
sister, go home.
The king wants to
You
meet
know,
your little
of course,
sisters
the initial
so that she
reaction,
can.
yeah,
The king wants to
yeah.
actually have a sit down with your little sister to go fight. It's like,
Well,
bro, what?
Aaron, let me ask you this:
Go ahead.
you have a son, you have a kid, and they put the draft back in World War III is about to happen, and government call and say, hey, your boy got to come, or even your daughter at this standpoint, your kids got to come and fight the war. What you gonna do? I mean, you can't say, oh no, they not going
I
unless you
understand
leaving
what
the
you.
country yourself.
Hold on, hold on,
Well,
hold
let
on.
the
Let me
king
let me
call for
respond.
them.
Let me respond to you. I understand what you're saying, and that's not the same circumstance as this right here. You understand what I'm saying? That's not the same. Like, I'm pretty sure Jesse's sons had to go fight because they was part. You know what I mean? They had to represent where they from. So I'm pretty sure that Jesse, as the father, you know what I mean, his sons was recruited to go to battle. I'm pretty sure Jesse wanted his family home with him to to be a part of the family and do stuff around the house, things of that nature.
There's
So there's a
definitely
difference
a
between a
missing
draft
layer,
and
though.
say that again,
But
Amber.
As
my point was that if the king calls, it just like if the president or the army calls for somebody to come, they going regardless of whether you agree or disagree. You got to go unless you leave in the country. So my point was that if the king calls for it, the brothers can't do anything about it. That was my point.
Right.
I think that there's a missing layer in the story too between the firefighter and his brother. Like there is obviously buildup in the story of David of his brothers being jealous of him.
Amen. Amen.
He's already been under the under the king. He's already been
Hmm.
having that relationship right now, and they already said like in here they're like, oh, you think you're all that in a bag of chips, and so there's already this underlying issue where he's like the black sheep of the family. He's the special boy, as the boy wonder, right? And so there's already this underlying issue. They're not going to say anything to him other than like you're stupid. So in the story there would need to be kind of that underlying like jealousy, I think, because right now Mike is just kind of
Mhm.
like the hero, which these guys were not the hero in David.
All right. So when I read the story, I mean, obviously, there's different versions of how you can go through reading the story, and you read it in First Samuel 17. You don't get all of that stuff until
Right. Yeah, you have
after
to get the
after
stuff before.
yeah, after he defeats Goliath, and then all of the other stuff comes into play. You know what I'm saying? So the jealousy part, I'm not saying that they wasn't jealous of him, but all of that sitting in front of the king, playing, giving out evil spirits, all that stuff take place after the fact.
After,
I think,
that's what I thought too.
yeah,
But
and then but also remember when they were
but
even looking for David. David was the runt. Like his other brothers were like
exactly,
beautiful, tall.
exactly.
They looked like men of war. They were the big guys. Even when he was like, they were saying, "Well, you got another son." He's like, "No, no, I don't have any
Exactly.
more."
Yeah.
Yeah, you got one
Mm-hmm.
more. He's like, David, like
Mm-hmm.
him.
And Samuel said he wouldn't leave until he got the last one.
Right. He did. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think it was jealousy either. It was just like, what? Come on now, little boy, go ahead. Give my ham sandwich and going back home. Well, excuse me. Give me my turkey sandwich and going back home.
But Jen, I think there might have been a little bit of jealousy from the standpoint. Here, this little run. Here, I'm a big soldier, strong looking man, look like I should be chosen by God, and you take a run and you're gonna anoint him with oil to say he's chosen by God.
I thought that was
I
afterwards
think
too, but
it been a
that's
little
what
that
I'm
was
saying.
afterwards too. I think that it was. I think
this
maybe
is this
after he killed Goliath, then maybe jealousy. But I think it's like, little boy, yeah, I would if my grandson came up to me, we're in a war. I mean, I agree with what Aaron is saying. What I think it speaks to is, regardless, when you feel like God has called you to do something, you have to stand solid, regardless of what anyone and everyone around you, even the closest people. Because I mean, if my mom was like, you probably don't want to do that. If you or my family was saying, nah, going home, that might make me pause. But he was like, nah, you're not going to disrespect us. I mean, so I felt like it spoke like that. But I get what Aaron is saying, like real life. I mean, sometimes we take the stories of the Bible and once we see the whole thing, it's like, no, I would have prayed. But that's why I said I would have sent him home. I would have said going back home. Because honestly, if it was in the real, and like you said, I hope that my son, whoever it was, or even myself, would say, my faith in God, what I believe that God has called me to do, I'm going to stand on it, regardless. Even if I were to lose, even if I perish, let me perish.
If you die,
Live is Christ, to die is gain. Right.
You
That's what I'm
better
saying.
know that you know Christ.
Right.
You better
Yeah.
know that you know His voice.
Right. And that's how he was.
Because my sheep know my voice, hear my voice, and they follow me. So you better know that you following the lead of Christ.
Yeah. Because I would have told you to go home.
You would have been going home.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we all, just like the brother,
see back at the house.
we all would have been saying that. But if the person stuck to it, then I think I would have to back down and let them, if they're saying they're following God or they're, I would have to let them go. Because who am I to stand in the way of what God wants them to do?
Yes.
Just pray that they be okay.
Yeah, I would have prayed then.
I think honestly, if I was his brother, I'd be like, cool, I don't have to deal with him. You go ahead and do it.
Can't be like that, man. Like, yo, you worry about your dad being at home. If your dad find out that, you know what I mean, his son got killed, you know what I mean, because and y'all sat there, like, there's a lot of possibilities. Like, again, we know how the story plays out, so it's easy to say, oh, we would have did this and that, but I mean, realistically, yo, like, if you know that this your mom's baby boy. She, you know what I mean? And you could have stood up, you know what I mean, and did something instead. The fact that the king even want to meet with him, it's like, oh, king, I would have to go to the king first. Me and my brothers is like, yo, bro, like, like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on, king, like, you know what I mean? Like, why you want to talk to my little brother? He not even a warrior.
But out of all his warriors,
I didn't hear what
out
you
of
said.
everybody, he was the only one, saying, "Hey, I want to fight." So he's like, "Wait a minute, what's this dude making all this noise?"
And I agree with you. And I'm saying, like, I'd have been, my brother naive. You don't know no better.
Yeah,
King, you wilding right now for even wanting to have this sit down, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Then the king would have told you to go fight him.
Exactly. Oh, wait. Okay, well, never mind.
Oh, but listen, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. Not to say that King Saul had to go out there and fight, but David, and most of the kings from Joshua all the way, you know what I mean? They all went to battle too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They all went to battle too.
Yep.
So if the king got to lead by example. So if he's sitting there scared, you know what I'm saying?
That's
And-
probably why his whole army was scared.
Yeah, because he's
Right.
not leading by example. You know what I mean? He's sitting there, you know, trying to send Fritz's little sister to go fight for him, man. That's not a good testimony, man.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a good testimony, Fritz.
And if you see my sister, she's so thin.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not taking nothing away from David. But also David,
but Aaron,
yeah, go ahead.
Aaron, if Fritz little sister said went to the king or the president or whatever and say, hey, look, I done did this, that, and the other things that were compatible to, you know, sort of like David's killing the bears and the lions.
See, that's
and
the
whatnot.
thing. You think that's compatible. I don't say.
I said, hold up. I'm saying that if the sister said, if she done something that would be compatible to that, you know, because I don't know what would be compatible to that in this day and age. So, I mean, she could say, well, I flew this and flew that or did whatever and killed this and did that. And the king, I'm saying, and the king said, all right, and everybody else scared to do it. And she said that she could do it. You still say no?
So we will have to say what the thing that she did, because I don't compare her killing a bear, although killing a lion. And
Well, she said the equivalent, but I would say if I as her big sister, I'd be like, ain't nobody see you do that. There, he was out there by himself. Did you really? Did you really do it? Was it a tiger or was it a cat? Help me clarify.
Or was it a rat?
But you're not there. She's talking to the king or the president or whoever, head of the army. I'm saying,
But
you're not there.
So hold on for a minute.
Them out.
Again, I'm not taking nothing away from David and what he did, but isn't that what a shepherd does? Like, if you could, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not the only person that ever killed a lion because they was trying to attack the sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get.
Nah,
let me say this. Hold on, let me say this. And I'm not trying to be funny, Eddie, and I'm not trying to pick on you. Hold on real quick. I'm not trying to be funny, Eddie, and I'm not trying to pick on you. Me and Eddie, a couple of months ago, was sitting down having a conversation. And him, Kathy, a couple of them, I was sitting down having a conversation with. And Eddie was like, I remember precisely, because what my conversation with Eddie would make me go back and ask Kathy and all the other girls. Eddie said to me, yeah, you know, where I live at, behind where I live at, there's a lake or a river, right?
Yep.
He said, it's a river. And I said, oh yeah? He was like, yeah. At night, you know, we have dogs and stuff at our house, because at night the hyenas is out there. I said, and he said it real nice and nonchalant. I said, oh, what do you mean the hyenas is out there? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, y'all gotta, during the daytime and where they live at, during the daytime, they gotta worry about stuff like that. Wild animals and things of that nature. Like they where they live, they gotta build I guess tall fences and stuff around them, because they not too far from the safari or the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And just that's mind-boggling to me that you could be outside, your kids can't play outside because all of a sudden a lion or they get attacked by hyenas. And so my point is saying all that, which I couldn't fathom that, because that's not our reality here. That the most thing I see is
not in New Jersey, not where you live at in New Jersey, but some other places. When we were in Florida, I mean, they have gators that come up in their back. You know, one was in somebody's kitchen.
Yeah,
I mean, there's different places, even in the United States.
In Jersey, you're just having people snatch your kids.
That's what you get to do, sis. You gotta check this.
Listen, though, hold on. My point though is, if you, I would assume Bible times is somewhat similar to living out there in the wilderness, where you have lambs and different goats and farmland and stuff that you got to protect. And here in the U.S., they have dogs that protect their livestock here, mostly Mostly you have to worry about wolves and things of that nature here. So they have dogs, just certain type of dogs that can fight and defeat wolves. But back in those days, they had to protect the livestock
Mm-hmm.
with weapons and stuff. So I mean, to me, killing a lion, although that's a big feat, I feel like if his brothers was there, they would have killed the lion too, or killed the bear as
The
well.
thing is, he did it with his bare hands. If you do if, like you said, you would have got a gun and shot it. Well, I'm saying he did it with his bare hands. A boy. That's all. That I'm done
Much
with it. That's
yo,
it.
much respect to him. I'm not taking nothing away from him.
Mhm.
Much respect to him.
Okay.
It's all good. Anybody else want to say anything as we close out on this?
This was good. I knew it from the start, but it was good.
Yeah, good lesson.
But so to let y'all know, David was an Ephrathite. It says it in. So his father. It said if you read 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 12, it says now David was the son of Jesse and Ephrathite from Bethlehem in Judah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ephrathites are part of. And the funny thing about it, why I brought Caleb up, is because that's where the place that the city was named. She was named after the city, and she represented the city after the fact. So his bloodline or whatever was coming from Caleb's wife territory and area.
Cool.
In any case, we signing off. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. As our pastor always say, be safe, be blessed, be well. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining. And we out of here. See y'all to the next one. Have a good night.
Goodbye. God bless.
God bless everyone.
God bless.